How's everyone doing? And thanks for tuning into Wicked Warnings, your number one source for construction and emergency safety strobe lighting equipment for cars, vans, buses, bicycles, tricycles, and the brand new 2023 Ford Super Duty. This happens to be an XL truck, but it is a long bed, so I'll give it some credit there. Has no LED lighting from the factory that's really worth messing with, so everything you see here is an additional add-on product. We didn't manipulate the factory lighting in any way because, as I said, it's all incandescent or halogen, so it's not really worthy of doing it. What we're looking at right in the front there is a 3-inch mpower surface mounted on that grill. Now that grill is a little bit new. I haven't done this style yet. So if you have a grill that looks like this on an XL truck and you like this 4-light or 2-light, if you just want to do the top 2 setup, the mpower 3 is what we used, and it worked out very well. We did remove the grill, put a little bit of extra adhesive behind the light behind the grill to lock it in further than just sticking to the grill itself. But with the primer promoter, a little bit of RTV on the back, I'm confident those lights aren't going anywhere. Again, that's the amber white mpower 3, and above that is our all brand new dual color 19-inch Wicked Warnings LED light bar. Now that bar will display amber or white or a combination thereof, as you see here, with a variety of different patterns, and it also has the ability to be secondary trigger on a steady white if you like as well. We chose to mount that on top of an Acari Drill-Free Mounting Bracket, so we didn't have any damage or holes in the roof, and it is completely removable. Alrighty, as I pan around to the side of the truck, you can see that V3 graphic right there. We're going to go ahead and give you a close-up in a minute to show you the reflectivity of that graphic, but we did redesign that graphic in a reflective vinyl by the customer's request, and we've been doing that on all the jobs that come through here. So if your vehicle's going to come through our shop and you need some door card, let us know, get us the art file, and we can have that done for you. Talking about what we're seeing on the side of this truck. In the front badge there, we did have a little enough room to put in a Mini Hex LED in amber white. And we have that in amber as well, but be forewarned, there's not a lot of room in that badge at all to do this. And the light that we used, again, is the Mini Hex, a very small 1-inch light. We had to kind of melt a hole through there and mount it in there with some RTV, but it turned out fairly nice if you want to get a light in the badge. What we did behind the rear door there is an mpower 4. A little larger light than in the grill, but we did that one in all amber and put it right there in that front bed step. Alrighty, working our way around the back of the truck. I have the camera set at about 6 feet high right now, right at my eye level. I'm 6 foot tall, and that's just to show you that light bar from the rear and the bracket right there. Underneath it, you can see our LED HAW Duo low dome white in the reverse cavity of that tail light there. Works out quite well when you have the base model tail lights. You can put a hideaway in there, and you just put it basically right where there's a embossed circle on the lens. That's where you drill, and that it's fairly easy install. Now, as I drop the camera down to about 5 feet, you'll see the under tailgate lights become much brighter. From 5 feet and down, they're right in your face and very bright. So as a car approaches from the rear, those 2 mpower 4s that we mounted underneath the tailgate on the same pattern that we're running the side mpower 4s will come into play. That just was to get a little bit of amber around the back of this, and this was built to match the fleet. They have some F-150s in there with LED taillights that we did an auto flasher on, the white LED reverse. We had some base model F-150s that we did a hideaway on, and now we had this brand new Super Duty. So what we're doing is trying to make this fleet look the same across all the different vehicles. So that's why we went with exactly how we went with. That way, when they lay out all their vehicles and light them up for their photo shoot, even though they're different models and years, they're gonna aesthetically look the same with the lighting package, as close as possible anyways. Alrighty, so now let's get to the boring part and talk to you a little bit about everything that's included in this bundle if you're going to buy it exactly as you see it, and how it's put together. Starting in the rear here with our hideaway duos in the reverse lens. You're going to get your set of hideaway duos, and you're also going to get a 30-foot piece of 18.5. That's going to be color matched to the wire that's on the HAW Duo, and it's going to allow you to bring it forward and get all the control over that HAW Duo. You can do anything you want with it because you've got all 18.5 wires matched up with it, so that's how that's going to come. Now below that, you've got a set of mpower 4-inch lights, not only underneath the tailgate, but also in front of the rear step. Now, these lights are also going to get a piece of 30-foot 18.5, one for the left side, one for the right side. The way this is going to work is we're going to start that connection at the under tailgate light. We're going to run it forward. either over the fender well or through the frame to the mid light at the front bed step. We're going to daisy chain right off of that light. That's where we're going to use the synchronization feature if you want or not, as well as some of the other wires. Now, from that midship light, we're going to go forward to either the customer provided switch on the dashboard or the factory auxiliary switch, whichever you like. A 30-foot piece on the left set of lights, a 30-foot piece on the right set of lights. And this will also allow you, if you take the synchronization wire from the left tailgate light forward on that 18.5 and the synchronization wire from the right tailgate light forward underneath the hood or under the dash, you can join them and you can then have an alternating pattern underneath the tailgate if you prefer. So this gives you the freedom to set these lights up a variety of different ways, or you can match my setup, doesn't matter. So once again, HAW Duos with a 30-foot run for them, your 4-inch mpower ambers, a 30-foot run for each side. So far you've got 3 30-foot run of 18.5 coming forward, one for each side of the ambers and one for the HAW Duo. Now we're going to give you that light bar on the top, the permanent mount light bar with the Acari mount as well. And that light bar is going to be extended down, forward. I have a video about how to run the wiring for that Acari mount. Down the back driver's side, forward, and either through the firewall to the auxiliary switches or to the dashboard provided switches. It's also going to use 18.5. So we're going to give you another 30-foot piece of 18.5 for that light bar. Now you might have a little bit of extra with that, but it does have to run down and forward across the interior. So we're giving you a 30 that way in case you have to go all the way to the factory auxiliary switches, you can. Alrighty, moving around the front of this truck, you're going to get 2 Mini Hex in amber white. Those are going to go in the badges. You're also going to get 4 amber white M-powers. They're going to stick on the front grille. I'm going to give you some VHB primer promoter. Don't forget to use that, as well as a little RTV. Now again, I removed the grille when I did these lights. I joined the left side lights together. I joined the right side lights, or driver's side lights. Actually, driver's is left. But what I'm saying is the driver's side pair of lights have a wire included long enough to join together the sync and do whatever you like. So we're going to give you 50 feet of 22-5. My recommendation is to combine the driver's 2 lights together, extend as pair with 22.5. Combine the passenger lights together, extend as a pair, a single run of 22.5. Those 2 runs of 22.5, you will then sync together to create this display, because you sync together the lights as a pair, and then you sync the 2 22.5s together, and now you have your pattern set for all 4 lights. This gives you 2 22-5s to control the 4 lights. If you prefer to extend all 4 individually, your truck, your call, you may do so. Now you'll extend those 22.5 wires all to either underhood auxiliary switches or the factory auxiliary switches, or a customer supplied 3/4 flush mount switch, which is what this truck got. This is a base model XL that did not have factory auxiliary switches. So everybody listen up right here. If your truck has factory switches, all you'll need to really keep in the bundle is the fuse kit I'm listing now. If you do not have factory switches, you will need not only the fuse kit, but the 3/4 switch, as well as the 25-foot piece of 16-2 to extend from the battery to the switch on the dashboard. If you have factory switches, you may delete that 25-foot piece of wire as well as a 3/4 switch if you like, but I would still recommend keeping at least the fuse kit in there to fuse down your factory auxiliary switch. Again, optional, but recommended. There'll be an accessory package for this build as well. It's got some connectors in it and some heat shrink. And if you feel as though you need other items, please shop through our tools and accessory department and make sure you have everything you need. If you have any questions on this install at all, please reach out to us before you purchase it. Please reach out to us before you install it. And please reach out to us before it's taken apart in your bay and your customer's mad that you're not done with it. So I'm going to go through right now, shut the lights off, and show you a couple stills of how we mounted everything, and that'll conclude the video. Here's that drill-free mount right on the side here. Very nice. You lose approximately 3 inches of height on the roof. So if you can stand a 2x4 up on your roof and still clear your doors, you'll be fine. This is how we mounted those mpower 3s. We did drill a single hole, and as I said, you will need to put a little bit of RTV behind the ones, especially on the passenger side, because it's an open mesh over there. But this is fairly easy to do. The grill comes off fairly easily, and as I said, these wires come with the lights come with a long enough wire to attach these 2 lights together, and then down to a single 22.5. So that's how we did it, and it worked out fairly nice on this XL style 2023 Super Duty grill. Now I'm sure there's a variety of other ways we could have did this, but again, we were attempting to match some of the other V3 builds we've done in other videos with 4 lights on an F-150 that were put in a grill in this pretty much same layout. So check those videos out, you'll see what I'm talking about. This is where we snuck the Mini Hex in. As I said, I cleared out a little bit of plastic behind there. I glued it in from the back with the RTV and a little hot melt as well. I did remove the rubber gasket to get it to seat a little further back in there. It worked out all right for this badge. This badge, without doing like a surface mount something, it's difficult to get a light in it. So for now, this is our first rendition. We'll see if we play around with another badge and do something different. There's not a whole lot to talk about here. It's a side step. It's got a plastic bezel. You drill a hole in it and you stick a light to it. We're going to use that 3M Primer 94 adhesive, the same stuff we used on the grill. We're going to use it on the side step here. We're also going to use it underneath the bed in the back. Probably going to have to make sure I give you 2 packets of that so you have enough. I tried to put that light just under the curvature, so it's on the flat portion, and it is back far enough that, I mean, honestly, if somebody's gonna boot the crap out of it with their steel toe boots, like how about pay attention and don't destroy your product. So I think it'll be a fine location, and as long as the guys know the light is there, they shouldn't destroy it. And here's our location where we drilled that single hole for the lights underneath the tailgate. I think I measured in about 5 inches off of that rectangle square embossment on each side. And I just sighted it right about where I liked it as far as the height. And I will say that the drilling of the hole, you're going to end up just above the double layer reinforcement on the bottom. So you're actually just above, and when you reach your finger around the back there, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. The hole comes out inside that embossment. So you're drilling, again, just above that lower level reinforcement layer. I should have took a picture, but you can kind of see the lower, I didn't drill through the lower layer, I drilled just above it, and that worked out great. You can see in reference what I'm talking about in relation to that square embossment. We're a little bit lower than that as far as up and down for the drilling of those holes. You can also see right above that cool reflective logo design we did. Just copied their logo, but got it into a reflective vinyl form, so it's much cooler now. We also did that on the door here as well. So thanks again for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this video of this XL F-250 2023. This job was number 25947, and I'm going to say if you're of moderate experience, probably leave yourself between 12 and 14 hours to take care of this job front to back, and I think you'll be right on par with that. So thanks again for tuning in to Wicked Warnings. If you got any questions at all, reach out again before it's critical so we can have the opportunity to help you through your issue. See you guys on the next video.